Good morning.
So let's talk about weight gain. Weight gain after gastric sleeve surgery or VSG, weight gain with thyroid disease, weight gain with lipedema. Doesn't matter what the cause is, right? Whether it's hormones or stress or whatever it is, we don't want it and we need to avoid it at all costs. I'm going to share with you the things that I'm doing to avoid it and the things that I'm removing from my life to avoid it. Whether it works or not, who knows? But this is just what I'm doing at the moment, and that's what I'm sharing. I have gone through every weight experience there is. I was never a skinny mini child. Now I know because of the lipedema, I always had the thicker thighs. But when I look back at those photos before my thyroid kicked it in, I'm like, I don't think I realized that I actually had an okay figure. So we're always so hard on ourselves. So I've been at every end of the spectrum. And now that I have lost 60 kilos, I don't want to put it back on. I have seen it in a lot of the groups, which is, to be honest, why I left a lot of those groups, because they're always so focused on the negative, and that's not how I roll. I'm very much, what can I do to avoid the weight gain? Because you see it in the groups all the time about weight gain, and they all seem to justify that it's okay, it's normal. I don't believe so. I believe the weight gain comes around because of the things that we do and the things that we don't do. If you've lost weight and you don't want it to come back for the health of your lipedema, for the health of your thyroid, because you went through something like VSG, maybe something I'm doing can help you. And if there's something that you're doing that you think might help me, please let me know, because I am gathering information as we speak. Here's what I've learned. Weight gain is a symptom. For me, I actually consider myself lucky that my weight can fluctuate so easily, because it's a sign that there's something else going on. If my weight suddenly goes up 2 kilos overnight, then what's happened? Is there inflammation at play? Have I eaten something I shouldn't have? Am I stressed? Is my thyroid tanking? Is my lipedema struggling? It's a symptom, which is a reason why I step on the scales every day. So I consider myself lucky to be a person that fluctuates so easily. Unlike the skinny minis we have in our life, whose weight does not fluctuate, they can eat all the crap under the sun and their weight stays the same. However, that does not tell them that their health is going well. So that's what I like about the weight fluctuation. So in an effort to avoid the weight coming back on, because that's such a big fear. When you've lost a lot of weight, that's a massive fear. So to avoid it coming back on, these are the things I am trying to steer clear of in my world. I say trying, we're all human. One of the biggest things is artificial sweeteners. There have been studies upon studies on people who have consumed artificial sweeteners, and long term, they actually gain weight, because from my understanding is what it does is keeps the sweet flavor on your tongue. So you keep wanting sweet things, carbs, all the sugars, etc. The other thing about artificial sweeteners is, if you have followed me for a long time, you'll understand that I drank diet cola, let's say cola, I had about 10 a day back just before my thyroid kicked it. Sure, stress is what tipped me over the edge, but the artificial sweetener after weight loss surgery, you're advised to have all these keto things. They're all high in artificial sugars. And to me, that's going to destroy other parts of my health. It's not just about the weight, it's about whether or not my thyroid is healthy. I would love to get to a point where I'm not taking thyroid medication anymore. So I am very cognizant of the fact that artificial sweeteners will tank me in the long run and will keep me wanting sweet things. It will keep me craving sweet foods. Oil. It doesn't matter what camp of food you are in, whether you're a vegan, a carnivore, or anywhere in between. Every camp agrees now that seed oils are toxic to our weight and to our health. It is particularly harmful for the thyroid pathway. So it will stop the thyroid pathway from functioning the way it should be. Polyunsaturated fatty acids, or PUFAs as they're called, or vegetable oils to the rest of us, actually stops the thyroid hormone getting to where it needs to be. So say everything else is running beautifully, you've converted your thyroid hormone, whether you take it or you make it. If it's not getting to your cells, you will still feel tired. So your blood tests will still tell you that you've got enough of this hormone in your blood, but it's not getting to the cells because you've got too many polyunsaturated fatty acids running around. So oils are a no for me. I cook in lard, and I'm going to do a whole video on this because for me it's shocking that I cook in lard, but that's what our ancestors did, right? That's what our grandmas and great-grandmas and great-great-grandmas did. They cooked in lard or tallow or bacon fat or whatever grease they kept from the last meal. So that's what I've started doing too. Carbs. I'm avoiding carbs as much as I can. I am human, but where I can, I avoid the carbs. Apparently, grains are toxic to the lymphatics. So, from a lipedema perspective, toxic. And carbs also, I've discovered, makes me hungry. I didn't realize until I cut them, and I hadn't been having them for a while, which was sort of in the middle of my gastric sleeve journey. Then I went to the shop one day and it was treat day. We just decided it's been ages since we'd had a treat. We deserved it, all the things, right? And I'm looking around this very fancy grocery store that we have here called the Good Grocer. And I realized I was looking at all the carbs and I went, oh, I'm addicted to carbs. I never thought in a million years, because I'm pretty good at being going, oh no, I don't need it. But I realized in that moment that I'm addicted to carbs because they're sugars. It was such an eye opener to me. So where I can, I avoid carbs. And rolling on the back of carbs is sugars. So I am still having chocolate, yes, here and there, but where I can, I am avoiding sugar in any way, shape, or form that I can. Because again, like the artificial sweeteners, it keeps the sweet flavor on your tongue. The more you have of sugar, the more you want of sugar. We know this, right? We are human and we do the best we can. And so I'm always doing the best I can to avoid the sugar. Liquid sugars. Okay, those drink. When I go away, you'll see lots of photos of me with a cocktail in hand, and they're not ideal. Okay, a lot of people, particularly after weight loss surgery, turn to liquid sugar because they miss out, or you feel like you miss out on the food, so it's easy to drink. A lot of people also swap their addictions to food, to addictions to alcohol, that kind of thing. That is very common. But the liquid drinks, I do my best to keep to water and coffee. I generally only have one coffee a day, water the rest of the time. Because if I'm having liquid sugar, again, it is just making me want more of that. And it makes it that much harder for me to turn back to water. Snacking. I try not to snack. And I think what happens after weight loss surgery is some people just find that they can snack all day because they can't eat a proper meal. So they snack every 2 hours instead. And I kind of feel like in the long run, if you snacked every 2 hours, you might end up eating more than you ate before weight loss surgery. I don't know, just a theory. So I try to stick to my three main meals. That's why I eat carnivore, because I feel satiated during those three meals. If I am going to snack, it's going to be mid-afternoon like everybody else, and I try to have Greek yogurt or something high protein to keep me satiated till dinner time. But there are some days that I don't snack at all and some days that I really want to snack. So I just try to make sure my three main meals fill me up so that I don't feel the need to snack. Processed foods. Oh my God. Processed foods have the oils, the sugars, the artificial sweeteners. They have everything in them that I've just mentioned above this, right? So processed foods. This is the other thing after weight loss surgery. You see a lot of people eating the bars, the keto bars, the protein bars, this sort of thing that are all processed and have like 10 to 20 ingredients in them. I try to stick to whole foods where I can and make it from scratch. if I can. Again, human, but for the most part, I don't reach for anything like that because that's just going to make the process of avoiding the weight gain that much harder and will be that much harder to bring yourself back from if you get used to it after surgery or after your weight loss. Now let's talk about what I do every day. That was what I avoided. Now let's talk about what I do every day to try and keep my weight steady. Coffee enemas. I've talked about this before. I do this for many reasons, but it's to help my liver to process the things it needs to process. That actually also keeps my weight in check. I'm not sure how, because of all those liver diets that are out there. The cleaner your liver is, the easier it is to keep your weight maintained or to lose weight. I'm not sure of the mechanism of that one, but I do a coffee enema every day. It stops me from feeling like things are getting clogged up, which can happen after weight loss surgery because you're not eating enough. And it just makes me feel energized, believe it or not. I won't talk about the hows and whys. I've actually had a couple of you reach out and ask me, can I do a video on coffee enemas? I shall. It's on my list. Okay. The other thing I do is try to stick to carnivore. Sometimes it might be ketovore, sometimes it's not at all. But for the most part, most of the time, it's easy to stick to carnivore. That keeps my weight in check also. I weigh myself daily. I give myself a 2 kilo buffer. If I see myself going up to that 2 kilo buffer point, then I pull my head in and go, right, what are you eating? What are you eating too much of? What's going on? I don't ignore the scales for triggering points of view because I need to know the data. I need to know what I'm doing. I need to honestly look at myself in the mirror and go, what are you up to? Why is your weight going up again? So because of that, I face my demons and get on the scales every single day, even if I've been out the night before and we've been drinking cocktails and I've had all the liquid sugars and I've had the carbs. I know the weight's going to go up, but I need to step on those scales and see by how much to pull myself back into line. I also track my steps every day. I have this handy dandy Apple Watch, which I have worked out on it down the bottom here, has my steps so that at any particular time I can see how many steps I have done. And because some of the video that you see in this video is of me walking up the hills behind our house this morning, I have at this point done 17 floors, 4.5 kilometers and 7,000 steps. I keep an eye on that and try and keep to a minimum of 8,000 steps a day. That seems to work even when I'm at work. So that's sort of my minimum. I know I could probably push it and do 10,000 steps a day, but where we're living right now and the hours that we both work, that can only tend to happen on days off, which is week on, week off. So I don't get myself all hung up about it. And I just try and make 8,000 steps a day. I now wear well-fitted clothes. And at first I thought it was about, oh, I wanted to show off what I'd achieved. But now, for the first time ever, just recently, like in the last couple of weeks, I felt bloated. I had never felt bloated in my life. And if you're carrying weight and you're a thyroid person, a lipedema person, you just feel the same, which is horrible every single day. The other day, for the first time, I actually felt bloated. And the thought of putting on my jeans was like, oh no, that's going to feel horrible. So that was really interesting for me because I was like, right, you need to make sure you wear your jeans regularly because you know what happens when you go away on holidays and you wear your jeans to the airport and then they don't see the light of day till the end of the holiday and you take a deep breath and go, are these going to pull up? Because that's what happened when I was in Bali just recently. I was like, oh, if I put on weight, I haven't had my scales to check. I've been drinking all the liquid cocktails, the beautiful things. Luckily, they pulled up and I had only put on the 2 kilos during the whole trip. The more you put on your tight fitting clothes, your normal clothes, rather than just reaching for your big baggy, these are comfortable clothes, that's also, oh, hang on, this is a bit tight because it may not show up in the scales, but it shows up in your clothes, right? It's the same as when you're losing weight. It may not show up on the scales, but it shows up in clothing that you wear. So it works both ways. I feel like for me, wearing well-fitted clothes keeps me in check also because then it tells me how I'm feeling in my clothes and if something's amiss. Another thing I do every day is watch YouTube videos about carnivore, because that's what I'm choosing to eat right now. So I'm learning everything I can about it. I've said before, you will find anything you're looking for to back up any argument that you have on YouTube. So if you believe that vegan is the only way to lose weight and heal yourself, you will find the videos that support that, the science ones and everything. If you believe carnivore is the only way that you're going to lose weight and feel great and do all the things and heal your thyroid and reverse the lipedema, you will find all the videos to support that argument too. So what do? Right now, I am using carnivore simply because for 30 years, I was the plant-based queen. Didn't work for me, clearly. So for me personally, I am now tracking with the carnivore. I feel good on it. I feel energetic on it. My weight is stable on it. I've continued to lose weight. It's sort of stable now. So whether or not this is the weight I'm staying at, who knows? I'm coming up to 2 years out from my gastric sleeve surgery. I'm not sure. But with the carnivore, I feel good. So every day I watch some kind of carnivore video to support my mindset of this will work for me. I don't care if it's a placebo effect. I really don't. This is what I'm choosing to do. So I need to believe that it's going to work for me and find reasons to stick to it, or find reasons to, if I stray, no, straight back to it. This is a mindset thing. It's believing that you can do this. It's believing that no, it might be common to put on 7 or 8 kilos again after you've lost all your weight. But is it normal? Might be common, but it may not be normal. Is that because everybody's going back to eating what they ate before? And as time goes by, your stomach stretches. There's a doctor, this Dr. Vong, I think his name is, and he says you stretch your stomach 1 spoonful at a time over many years so that you can eat more and more and more. I don't want to go down that road. Everything I do mindset-wise is about supporting my choices right now. And if in the end I end up back on vegan, or if I end up just eating everything once we move to Thailand, whatever, I still need to find the videos that support my choices and help me understand what those choices can do for me. So I highly recommend you do the same thing. Whatever your choices are, whatever you're looking for, find the videos that are pro that choice. Don't find all the videos that are going to make you think, oh no, this is the worst thing in the world for me. Don't, right? The algorithm will figure it out. If you start watching all the videos of why carnivore is amazing for you and what it can heal and it can reverse thyroid disease and all this sort of thing, it will start suggesting those videos to you. So you can continue to watch the videos that make you feel good about your choices. And that's the main thing, right? You've got to feel good about what your choices are at any given time. That's what I do. So every day I watch either a carnivore video, or it's why we watch Thailand videos, because we want to feel good about our choice to move to Thailand. Do that for your health. Do that for lipedema. Find the lipedema videos that are positive about things that you can do for your situation. Carnivore is one of them. That's why I've decided to go down this road and see what it does for me long term. Whatever you're looking for, you will find it. So be careful what you're searching for or what you're engaging in. I exercise daily as much as I can. I am trying really hard, although it's very hard on the weeks that I am working, because we don't go for our normal walks and things like that. But there are so many exercises that you can do at home that can improve your lymphatics, can improve your liver, can improve your general health, your thyroid, and keep the weight gain at bay. If you've had gastric sleeve or weight loss surgery in any kind, exercise is like the biggest hack, because you can't eat enough calories. So even though most of us that would be watching this video understand that calories in and calories out are just not a thing, right? Thyroid disease, lipedema, you know what I mean. That's crap. However, after you've had weight loss surgery, it does factor in. Because if I take a walk, or if I walk for 20,000 steps in a day that I don't normally do, that actually does have an effect, because I can't possibly eat the amount of calories that walk consumes. It is actually a hack after weight loss surgery, is going for a big walk. And it's probably why in Bali I only put on 2 kilos, because we walked and we walked and we walked. And we snorkeled and we walked. That is like the biggest hack. So find the things that you like doing and just keep doing them. Anything that you can. I used to, before I lost weight with the lipedema, rebounder. Be careful with your knees. Don't get the bungee kind. That's what I've got, because I bought the expensive one. If you've got hypermobile joints and things like that, from what I understand, you need the ones with the hard springs, and you only do a health bounce, nothing more. So that's something you can do in front of the TV at home. If you've got steps in your house, you can go up a step, down a step, up a step, down a step. Tell yourself, I'm going to do 50 steps a day. That's the kind of thing I used to do. It didn't make a huge amount of difference to my lipedema, but it kept the lymphatics moving. Do what you can do. So that's it for me today. I just thought I'd share with you what I'm doing to avoid weight gain in the long term, because I didn't go through all of this to put it back on. Not even like 5 kilos. I refuse. So I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I refuse at this point to go backward. That's where I'm at. So if you're in that situation and you're keeping the weight off, share with others what you're doing, share with me what you're doing, because it's this part of our journey that we have to be open-minded. If somebody had told me 2 years ago that I would be carnivoring, I would have laughed in their face. We have to be open-minded when we're dealing with hormone dysfunction, and particularly with lipedema, because lipedema can get out of control very, very quickly. Sometimes we spend so much time looking down because we're worried we're going to fall, as a metaphor for life, that we never look up and look at the big picture and how far we've come.
And you're looking down, so you didn't stop to look up.